Hey everyone, welcome to Wednesday night OWCP Chats with Chris and Gini.
Hey, what's up?
Tonight we're just going to kind of go over everything that we went over in a mini version of our 2020 special OWCP presentation for the beginning of the year, and answer any questions that we didn't get to answer last week, and answer your questions for today, because today is Q&A.
Yeah.
Once a month we do Q&A because we know a lot of people have questions. If it's on your personal issues, we always tell you to message us. There's me, Chris, Jennifer, Derek, Tom. We all try to answer the questions when you guys post them. You know, you guys message Chris and I on our cell phone, on our personal page. We kind of want to stick to one page, and if you can keep your questions on this page, it would be great.
Yeah, put all your questions on Wednesday night OWCP Chats.
Hello, Virginia.
Joyce from Virginia.
I said hello, Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All over the whole state, especially you, Joyce.
Don't
Hey,
forget
Tammy.
to share on your Facebook group pages, and share on your personal page. Share with your friends who need this help. And just a few minutes ago, Chris and I were just talking that a branch president invited us to come speak at their branch meeting, their union meeting. Their union meeting.
A local meeting in Georgia.
And see, they did the right thing. The president reached out to us. It can be anybody from the union, the secretary, the vice president.
Any of the leadership from the union.
Yeah. So those of you, again, that want us to come out, please let us know when you do invite us. How many people come out to your meetings? I mean, if you're only going to have like 15, 20 people.
Tell them to watch this.
It's better if they watch here, and we can always do a private Facebook group, a union meeting on Facebook like this, or we can do Skype. But when we have more than 50 people, that's when we're really getting to everyone. And
really more than 100.
Yeah.
For us to be able to travel and come to your meetings live, we do it for free. We cover our own costs. It's not about the money, except that I want to be able to affect as many lives as possible. And so I have 50 states potentially to travel into. We have 50 states to travel into. And so I want to make sure that I'm focusing my attention where I can do the greatest good. And so any meeting that I'm going to go to needs to be greater than 100 people. Greater than 2 would make me thrilled. Greater than 300 I'd be ecstatic. 1,000 people, and I'll get there tomorrow. So it's going to be really hard for us to make decisions to come to a place where the meeting is going to have 15 or 20 people, because I can only spend my time one way at a time, and I want to affect as many people, as possible when we go places.
Yeah.
So if you have a huge group, let us know. We'll be glad to come out and see you.
Yeah, but those of you that have small groups, again, for 15, 20 people for us to travel out there, it's really hard. So we could do a private Facebook session and get to do one-on-one like this, or we could do a Skype training as well, until we start doing more of our franchising where we're coming out state by state. But right now we're doing state conventions, spring and fall booster, and crossing our fingers for 2020 to be our first national convention. So with that said, go ahead and start asking your questions. If you want to just touch base real quick on a CA10 while I share this.
Well, I'm definitely going to talk about a CA10, but let me first say this. We're going to be, as long as the airline website, I'm going to leave the name of the airline out. In the spirit of being a good guy, I'm going to leave the airline out. If we can get this to work, we're going to be in Atlanta in a week, right? Next week?
Yeah.
And just dropping in to see our World Carrier friends that are going to be there. We've got a trip coming up this Friday to Chicago.
We are going to be in Chicago, so those of you that are in Naperville, I never know how to say it, Naperville, that's where we're going to be. We're going to be in the DoubleTree Hotel in
No,
Naperville.
Naperville.
So Chris is going to be doing a 2-hour long training, and then we're going to do one-on-one questions outside. We'll have our Wednesday night brochures. And those of you that know that I'm with Dr. Patrone in Hoffman Estates. So if you want a really good doctor that can get your claim accepted, you can stop by. We'll give you the brochure and ask one-on-one questions.
Yeah, so if you're in Illinois and you're a rural carrier especially, show up. Too many people don't show up. And then, like, today I got a question that I couldn't believe I was getting the question. You know, we've been teaching this full-time for 3 years. And a question that I got today, I just said, you know, we're not doing enough. Something's wrong that this question got asked, that particular question. So, about a CA16. So, anyway, show up, get the information, tell your friends. And when it comes to this video, you need to be sharing this. I'm not kidding when I say 500,000 people should be viewing this at any given time, because there are nearly 3 million federal employees. And so that's just 1/6 of the federal employee population. And easily 20% of the federal employees should be watching, because if you wait till you need it, it's too late. So you need to be sharing this. It's your job to share it. It's my job to do this thing, and it's her job to let you know we're going to be on. It's your job to tell your friends who haven't been here before. So please take the responsibility and take action and help your friends, help your coworkers, bring them on so they have this information, because seriously, I can't keep getting ABC questions from people that should have been seeing this for the last 3 years. And it's not that I don't mind teaching it, it's that if you have to ask, something bad already happened. And we're trying to stop the bad stuff from happening to you. I mentioned this. Is this Chris Helms from Denton, Texas? Yes, it is. Hi, Rita. I don't know that I met you before, but yeah, that'd be me. So, that totally threw me off. Yeah, so I was saying that statistically, the work injury claims acceptance rate has gone down, meaning it's worse, from 2018. In spite of our very best efforts, it's getting worse. So, you know, the best way to make it better is for you to share, for us to affect more people, to affect more lives. So please, please, please share, follow, like, share, tell all your friends about this page, because we're teaching something that can really be the difference between financial disaster and making it to retirement.
Yep.
So,
let's start out. So, Rita Owen. Yeah, this is the Chris from Denton, Texas.
That's me.
All right. We have a lot of viewers tonight. Oh, and just to let you know, last week's video for our special 2020, we had 13,000 people that watched us. At the time that we were doing the live, there was 5,200 people, and today, as of today, we're at 13,000. So we want to say thank you for all the 13,000.
Good job, you know. Yeah, great job sharing
watching.
that.
But we'd like to have 13,000 people watching currently.
Yeah, so
and
where are you at?
how it works is because when we're sharing, that particular group is watching, so it won't show up on here when it shows live. It's after the fact is when we get to see how many people were viewing us. So, with that said, Richard says, how do I submit for a shoulder injury that wasn't from a specific incident, but obviously from arm reaching for mailboxes? Also, I have seen a doctor for it in the past, but didn't claim or miss work. It's this all day long, you know, this.
Right, so for him, he's talking about his shoulder, which obviously happens over a period of time. So when you're talking about a CA2 injury, a CA2 is something that develops over a period of time, 2 or more days, shifts, weeks, months, years, decades. And so if you have some problem with your shoulder or any issue that developed over a long period of time, go to your supervisor and together with your supervisor, fill out a form CA2 and have them turn that in within 10 days of filling it out. And you get a complete copy of everything you filled out and the supervisor filled out and take it to your doctor. Your doctor then writes a narrative report and sends that in to Department of Labor. That matches up with your CA2, and if your doctor's any good, your claim gets accepted. And if your doctor's having a problem that day, or all the days, it gets denied, and we deal with that by appealing it.
Yeah. Oh, this Rita Owen said, we work together there. Rita Lavender, then. I'm now a federal employee.
Hi, Rita. Yeah, you're a federal employee now. Yeah.
That's really
cool.
Yeah,
Rita and I used to work together. I didn't recognize the last name.
Mary Ann Prater one of our locals, and we love her. She said, all federal employees should be watching. They are good and help me with my case. Mind you, my case was a challenge. I think one of the most challenging one, and it was.
Marion, it was a challenge.
Yes.
But, we're grateful you gave us a shot. Thank you.
Tracy said, I had a coworker who didn't believe this page was legitimate. I told her, you love to have federal employees, just reach out. It is a legitimate page.
Wait, no, it's not. None of you right now are actually watching this page. If you think you are, think again.
And don't forget to swipe your credit card.
Yeah, right on the side of your phone to swipe it right now. We'll take all of your payments. They're $0 a piece, but swipe the card.
So Tracy, tell her what I'm saying to you, Tracy. This is a legitimate page. We're not making any money unless you swipe your debit card on your phone.
And if you can make that happen, call Apple, because you might have a product you can sell to them.
Yeah, and just to know how legitimate we are, federal injury centers, as you guys all know, will be franchising, and we're getting there slowly but surely. We are starting the process. Just today, Chris was handling some more stuff, legal stuff, so we are going to be franchising. So this is a legitimate page.
In the next 5 years, I plan on having, in the next 5 years, my goal is to have 200 offices around the country helping you.
Yeah, so tell her
200's a big number, by the way.
Tracy.
Even I say, I'm like, really, 200? But yeah.
Okay, Brenda.
Go big or go home.
Brenda says, what rules cancel out schedule award for surgeries?
Well, there's no rule that would cancel out or validate a schedule award for a surgery. A schedule award happens when you get an impairment rating after your doctor says you're at maximum medical improvement, which is MMI. Regardless of surgery or not, when you hit MMI, maximum medical improvement, your doctor says you're done. This is as good as you're going to get it. And so then they do an impairment rating, which leads to a schedule award. Whether you had surgery or not, at some point you hit that MMI point, and that's what triggers the impairment rating and schedule award.
Yeah. Matt Hayes, what do you do when management refuses to give you a CA1 after being involved in a motor vehicle accident, instead giving you a CA2A because this has happened before?
It's going to take me a second to get over the whatever.
Stupidity?
Look.
Sorry.
Go to our website. Go to federalinjurycenters.com. That's centers with an S, Federal Injury Centers. Get your own CA1.
Oh, yeah, Matt, I already told you this. I was telling Chris about it. This is right, yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody.
Yeah.
Get your own CA1. Fill out page 1. Take it to the supervisor and say, I know you said 2A, but you're wrong. Fill this out.
Yeah.
Okay? Bottom line. If the supervisor refuses to do their job, because they have 10 days from that day that you do the CA1, they have 10 days to turn it into DOL. If they don't turn it in, you're going to file a grievance. You're going to contact OSHA because it's your right to report and file a work injury, and you're going to make a complaint.
Yeah.
And if you make that complaint, that's bad news for management. So let's avoid it. The Code of Federal Regulations says you have a right to fill out a CA1. You have a right to have your work injuries dealt with, and that's what OSHA says as well. So just go back and say, no, sorry, you're wrong, and get a CA1 because that's not a recurrence. You just had an accident. The definition of a CA1 is a traumatic injury, a traumatic incident. It happened today.
Yeah, that's why, Matt, I gave you the website, and that's why I said go.
Yeah.
If anybody needs any of the forms, you go on federalinjurycenters.com. There's the tab. It says forms.
OWCP forms.
All the forms are there.
It says OWCP forms. Click it, and they're all updated. If you ever find one that's not, let us know. But the reason we put them there is because you can go to OWCP's website and click on it, and oftentimes it just goes to like this black hole, and it never opens.
Yeah.
So we found them, we got them updated, and ours is not a black hole. You can open them.
Oh, I just remembered something, Tracy, for your friend that said that this site wasn't legitimate. We're actually going to be in Chicago. We do we go to these national conventions with the roll carriers state conventions, spring boosters, fall boosters. We do it with the mail handler. We do it with APW. We do it with the roll carriers and AFGE. We do it, so it is legitimate, and we are legitimate.
Now, if you get to that room and you see me talking, you're not sure, pinch yourself.
Lisa, you said when you say you have a claim, such as the guy with the shoulder issue, what do you get as far as a claim?
So when you have a injury, okay, whether it happened in a single shift or over a period of multiple shifts, you have to file your claim, which is filling out a form. If it happened in a single shift, it's CA1. In multiple shifts, it's CA2. what you get, your injury claim is what they call it. Okay, it's like an injury case, injury claim. That's you saying I'm hurt and I need help, and that triggers the Department of Labor to help you. That's what we mean when we say injury claim. That's a great question. I'm happy you asked it.
Yep. Sue Boston, if you get a scheduled award, does that close your case?
Not necessarily. You have lifetime medical benefits, so you can get a scheduled award because you're never going to get any better than that. It's maximum medical improvement. But your doctor thinks he or she can do some treatment to keep you at work. I don't know. I'm just making that up. Or you have pain that they could do some treatment to relieve your pain on a daily basis. Medically, doctors can make that decision. Your case closes after inactivity or your doctor says you need nothing else. It's generally a medical decision. If they close it and you end up needing more help, it's not hard to get it reopened.
Right. And she says, what if you need surgery in the future?
Well, so if you needed surgery in the future, I don't know whether or not that means you needed surgery now. But if you need surgery now, you're not an MMI yet, right? Because that means surgery can make you better. But if in the future you need surgery, you can get your case reopened and have that surgery. That would be a CA2A notice of recurrence. It can still be done. Okay, I've seen it happen plenty of times.
Brenda said, did that work comp said already being paid because only able to do 4 hours, 4 surgeries, permanent damage, retaliated by taking pay and putting it under work comp.
Yeah, you're going to have to get with your union on that. I definitely recommend all of you be involved with your unions. I understand some of you have objections to that.
Right.
I disagree with you, but that's because my experience with unions is way different than yours. I only associate with people who make it their point to help you. Like, we know really strong union people.
Yeah, we
so
know.
I'm not sucking up to unions.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, I don't have the same bad experience as some of you have. So if you're one of those people, then go up the ladder and find somebody else. But I think you need to get involved with your union and let them help you, because there's a point that management's kind of trying to hose you.
Yeah.
And unions are there to fight back.
I mean, we know a lot of union presidents and a lot of the union officials from state level all the way down to branch level, local level. And the ones that we've dealt with, they fight for their employees. Yeah. I mean, and we travel so much within the 50 states that we know this for a fact. So number one, yes, it may seem senseless and you're wasting your money, but get involved with the union. Don't ask people. Go to the union meetings because there's great information, and sometimes we show up unexpectedly. So you never know, but it is worth it.
Surprise! Pinch yourself.
Because when you are a part of the union and you go down work comp issues, they're there to help you 100%.
Yep.
So.
Couldn't have said it better. What's the next question?
Okay. Whoa.
All right. Now, when you ask your questions, try to keep them short and sweet. The longer they are, the harder they are for other people to understand. So just do your best to write them as short as possible, please.
Barbara Perkins said, happy birthday to Chris on Friday. Yes, Chris's birthday's on Friday, the big 45.
45.
Yep.
45. I'm halfway done. So don't be alarmed. There are at least 45 years to go.
All right, Yvonne Gross said, I need a manager's direct contact phone number or email address to someone affiliated with Philadelphia District in regards to my claims examiner that's handling my case with discrimination, malice, retaliation, and abuse of managerial powers.
You have a claims examiner for OWCP handling all that stuff, huh? That doesn't sound right, but if you do, then what you need to do, and everybody can do this, if you want to know where to call to get your claims examiner, go to Google and search OWCP district offices. All right, the very first thing that comes up in Google, you'll be able to click on that, and there's a U.S. map.
Yeah.
Click on your state, and then scroll down, you'll see the phone number.
And it gives you all the info there.
So that's where you go. OWCP district offices on Google. Click on the first thing, and call your district office. But look, I don't know your situation, so maybe it's true, but I've never heard of a claims examiner doing that. If there's more information you want to give me,
hold on.
Go ahead so I can help.
She said, I just had a right knee surgery today for a torn medial meniscus, and I'm in pain and in bed. Thank God it went well. This group is awesome. I'm very familiar with DOL, but it's changed drastically since 2018. Oh, that was really sweet of
Thank
you
you.
to say. We appreciate that. We hope you get better.
And we're
So
definitely
rest up.
trying. If you need help while you're in bed, give us a call.
Yeah, give me a call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Corby says, for the folks struggling with legit of these two wonderful people, please feel free to consult with management on your case and let us know how it goes. Thank you both very much.
I think that was a joke.
Thanks, Corby.
Okay, I appreciate your good humor, but don't consult with management unless you just like bad information.
That's
and
the
then definitely
people
do
that say that this Facebook page is not legitimate. Oh, Tammy said, pinch, pinch. Yvonne said the claims examiner's a problem. Yeah.
Oh.
We hear a lot of that.
Well, you can request a change, just FYI. What you do is you get a hold of the supervisor, okay, the claims examiner supervisor, explain what's up, and just see if you can get a new claims examiner. Sometimes they will. You know, they all have a heavy caseload, and switching claims examiners probably not that big of a deal. Just try it.
Jackie said, a schedule award is not a one-time thing, correct?
Well, you get a schedule award, but let's say later on you're worse. You can have a modified award done, but for the most part, it's a one-time thing. When it's done, it's done. And then if you get a new injury, you can have a new schedule award on that. But if you get worse later, yeah, you could modify your schedule award.
Well, that's what she said, because as you age, things for me get worse, and can you reapply?
Yeah, but, okay, you're right, and I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm saying that in order to have a modification, your doctor would have to medically prove that it's not just, age-related. You have to prove that you didn't hurt yourself doing something else. It's not impossible, okay? All I can tell you is that medically, if you get worse, there is a way to have your claim or your schedule award modified.
Yeah.
But each individual case is different. It requires a medical doctor to make a decision.
Okay, Matt says, on the CA1, they have two boxes to check, one for continuation of pay, and one says, use leave. Can management deny COP?
Only if it took you more than 30 days to report your CA1 injury. By rule, if you report your CA1 injury within 30 days of the injury, then you have a right to elect continuation of pay. You're talking about box 15 on page 1 of the CA1 form. Letter A says COP, continuation of pay. So if you're in your 30 days, and if you listen to me here, I tell you, report your injuries right away, like immediately now, today. Then you never miss your deadlines. Like if you wait 7 days, you can't get a CA16 that pays your medical bills. So assuming you reported within 30 days, there's nothing they can do about it. Now, box 35 or 6 on page 2 of the CA1 says, do you intend to controvert pay? They can say that. They can say they're going to controvert pay because it didn't happen in the course of duty or something like that. But they can't prevent you from electing letter A, box 15, continuation of pay.
Nelson. Hi, Nelson. Hello, Jeannie and Chris. Thanks for helping me out with getting me to the right place to going to federal injury centers, and happy birthday, Nelson.
Thank you, Nelson.
I hope you got taken care of by Dr. Karaman, Dr. Rushwall, and Andrew. It's a great group in Clearwater, so we're glad that you got taken care of, because I know you were struggling last week. You had a lot of concerns, so I'm glad.
Good.
Chris says, can a field nurse refuse to go into the employee agency to assist with job duties regarding restrictions?
Yeah. That's the short answer.
Yeah, it's a short answer.
Yeah. They can.
Mimi says, is it necessary to use OWCP doctor for a second opinion?
So it depends. So a mandatory second opinion is one that's ordered by OWCP. You have to go to them. You can't refuse it. They can close your case for refusing. To get a second opinion by a non-OWCP doctor is really kind of a futile thing. They're going to ignore it. I would definitely work on getting an OWCP doctor for a second opinion.
Yeah, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't want to waste your time, waste the doctor's time, and they're not going to get paid because they're not an OWCP doctor, so they won't like that. And you will have gone there, and the claims examiner will have said, "Hey, it's not one of our docs." So
right.
Don't do that to yourself.
Marisol says, how can I prove causal relationship after the first appeal was denied? I'm having surgery tomorrow for my OTJ injury using my personal insurance. I'm planning to appeal a second time.
Yeah, so Marisol, the deal is you can't do anything to prove causal relationship. What you've got to do is take your denial letter back to your doctor and have the doctor read it, and there's a paragraph that says specifically your claim is denied because. And then they have to write a narrative refuting that denial. Okay, so that's how it's done. You need to then, on your appeal request form, select reconsideration and then send in have your doctor send in their new narrative report based on that denial letter, and that's your new information. So do reconsideration. And that goes for all of you. I'm going to check my makeup too in a minute.
No, I wasn't checking my makeup. I was looking at the number. So, you know.
That goes for all of you. On appeal request forms, when you get a denial, elect reconsideration like 99.9% of the time. Take the denial letter to your doctor, have them read it, and determine why it was denied. If you like, they're written in English, you can read it and find the paragraph that says why it's denied and circle it with a Sharpie or something. And then when you elect reconsideration on the appeal request form, your doctor can submit new information in the form of a narrative, and you have 12 months to appeal. So do that.
Okay, Kim says, what happens to your claim if your doctor doesn't respond? Will your payments stop?
Yeah, if your claim gets denied, all kinds of bad things can happen. Your payments stop. If it was never approved and you elected COP, you have to pay your COP back. So don't let your doctor stop. If they refuse, then ask them to kindly write a letter to the claims examiner asking to be removed from your claim, and then go find a new doctor. That's in the rules, by the way. The rule says that if the doctor requests to be removed, that request shall be granted. So if they refuse to do their job, get them the hell out of there.
Right. Yvonne says, how do I get a hold of her supervisor? Because when you call, it directs you to either self-help or the examiner only. Is there no other option?
You have to ask the claims examiner to speak to the supervisor.
And you can do that.
Absolutely.
You have a right to do that, to request to
I would
speak
do it.
to their boss.
I'd do it right now. So definitely do that. And if they say they're not available, tell them fine. Have them call me back.
Tracy Miller says, please answer a question for me, please. Is there 12 weeks of paid leave? I did not get hurt at work, but a medical issue happened.
So you can get family medical leave, and that's generally 120 days, 3 months. FMLA. And that has nothing to do with OWCP. You can be sick, a family member can be sick, you can be injured, a family member can be injured. That's not just OWCP. So that's what that is. Family Medical Leave Act means it's the law. And if you fill that form out, which you can Google FMLA forms, take it to the doctor, let them fill it out, and then that protects your job for that 120 days where they have to give your job back at that same position or at the same level at a different position in the company.
Yeah. Evans Juice says, how long does it take to get paid with a CA7 when your claim is accepted after your COP has ended?
Yeah, so good question, Evans, and thanks for that. So if you turn your CA7s in regularly, every 2 weeks like they want you to, you should be paid at minimum once a month. However, if you don't include the necessary documentation, which is a printout of doctor's reports or doctor's notes, doctor's appointments, a narrative from the doctor explaining why you're off of work, a CA-17 form, and a CA-20 form, you will not get paid. So attach those things. How often will they pay you? They're supposed to pay monthly.
Yeah, every time you turn in your CA7.
At least monthly is when you should get paid.
Susan Hirsch said, I've been on and off OWCP for almost 2 years. I had right shoulder rotator cuff surgery and ended up having a frozen shoulder and had to have it redone. Yikes. I have had an approval for the left shoulder, but not doing it. Is there someone I can talk to see what else I could do?
Yeah, give us a call tomorrow or send us a message. We may have Jennifer call you, so send us a Facebook message. Don't post it here. 30,000 people don't need your phone number. But send us a private message, and we'll ask Jennifer, who works with us. She's really excellent, to give you a call, and she'll tell you what to do.
Yeah. Valerie says, approved for rotator cuff surgery. Thanks for your guidance. CA7 packet received. Different form for mileage and reimbursement. I don't see the option on the CA7.
Yeah, so mileage and reimbursement are two different things. On the CA7, you're just they're paying you for time lost. The CA to get paid for mileage is a form called an OWCP 957, and to be paid for like money you paid out of your pocket is an OWCP 915. All of these forms are at the federalinjurycenters.com website on the OWCP forms tab.
It's two different forms.
Yeah.
Monica Hutchins says, I broke my ankle on December 30th. Did e-comp on 1/2 of this year. Orthopedic doctor on 1/3. They just turned in the doctor's narrative on 1/13. They said I need an emergency surgery. When do I think I will get an approval or a denial? If I'm denied, should I go through my insurance to get this surgery?
Jeez.
Yeah, this is sticky.
you should have gotten a CA-16 form, and if you report your injury within 7 days of the injury, your supervisor has to give it to you within 4 hours of your request. That's in the rules. If you had a CA-16 form, it covers things including emergency surgery.
Yep, for 60 days.
So go back and get the form, okay? It's past 7 days, but they can still give it to you. If they refuse, file a grievance, file an EEO complaint.
Yep.
Talk to your union and see if there's labor charges you can file. I don't care. I'm sick and tired of people not getting CA-16s. This is the thing that happens. If you need surgery, you're like, how do I pay for it? My claim's not accepted. I don't have any money. Do I use my own health insurance? Well, look, your health insurance doesn't want you to do that because it's a work injury. And there's a way for the workers' comp to pay for that. So you either have to wait for it or go get your CA-16. I recommend get a union rep, go straight to the supervisor, and tell them you need a CA-16. Now, here's your thing. I should have said this earlier. Go to Twitter. If you don't have Twitter already, you especially have no excuse not to get it now. Go get Twitter. It's free. And then sign in, get an account for free. It's like 4 easy steps. It's all in English. Anybody can do it. You must do it. And then go and find me. My Twitter page is called @Fed Injury Center. Fed Injury Center. The reason you need to do this is because I posted on there the Code of Federal Regulations that tells management they have 4 hours to give it to you. You need to take that and say, look, do you know you broke the law by not giving me my CA-16? Go ahead and give it to me now. Mm-hmm. Make them fill out page 1 and sign it. Take it to your doctor. You're home free. This will cost you nothing.
Yeah.
And for all the rest of you, that's a lesson. Look what's happening. Emergency surgery, who's going to pay for it? You need a CA-16. Every one of you hearing this right now should go to Twitter and get a Twitter account and follow me @Fed Injury Center. If you were doing that already, you'd have your CA-16s. So this is not me being angry with you. I'm angry with management who continuously hoses you.
But this is the number one thing when we do our conventions and Chris is educating. People don't even know what a CA-16 is, and they have no clue and they've never heard of it. So,
and for those of you that don't do Twitter, listen, you're already on Facebook, you do social media, you did it already. So go get Twitter and follow me @Fed Injury Center. It's so important, okay? I should get 1,000 more followers tonight. @Fed Injury Center. There are no strings attached to this. I don't waste your time. I'm not going to talk about the Super Bowl. I won't tell you about the national championship game. We're not going to talk basketball, dinner, or movies, okay? I put OWCP related information that's of value to you. So get on there, @Fed Injury Center. Scroll through. There's not even that much stuff. And find the Code of Federal Regulations that addresses CA-16 forms. Take it to your supervisor. Get that form. Give it to your doctor, and that'll pay for your surgery.
The PO, this is Marisol. PO wants their COP back now, too. I told my union steward I'm appealing again, so they can't touch my money.
So give them a copy of your appeal request form, and let them know this isn't over. You know, I'm only required to pay it back when my claim is over. Your claim is not over, okay? It's just getting started. You're going to appeal it now. You may do a dozen appeals. That's the way that goes.
Jackie says, in October of 2018, OWCP sent me to a second opinion neurosurgeon. He agreed I needed low back surgery. Is it a different type of surgery my doctor requested? OWCP isn't any closer to making a decision on surgery. What can I do?
Well, I don't know what your doctor requested or whether or not it's the same or a different surgery. What I can tell you is this. If your accepted diagnosis is like a sprain or a strain, they're never going to approve surgery. It won't matter, okay? So what's your accepted diagnosis? Your accepted condition. If it's not a surgical condition, you're never getting surgery. So if it's not, we can help you with that, but your doctor has to write a report to get a diagnosis expansion, okay? To add the exact condition that you actually have. He's going to have to prove it, or she's going to have to prove it. So that's what's probably going on with you. They will never, ever approve surgery of any kind if you have a sprain.
Evans Juice says, what's a doctor got to do to become an OWCP doctor?
Well, number one, the doctor's got to be serious about helping.
Yeah.
The doctor can't be money driven. That doesn't work for me. If they're not patient focused, number one, I'm not interested. But if they want to learn, That's what we do for a living. We teach doctors, just like we teach you. All you got to do is give us their name and number, or give them our number. No problem. We'd be happy to talk to them.
So if anybody's interested in their doctor, if their doctor wants to do OWCP, learn the program, become a part of Federal Injury Center's franchise, you can have them email me at Gini, Gini, at federalinjurycenters.com, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So
if you know somebody, we'd be happy. We're really working hard to get more doctors out there that know what they're doing.
Okay, so Dawn says, just clarifying, you should have FMLA if long-term injury. I thought it was work comp injury. You were protected because it happened at work.
You're only protected if it happens at work, your claim is accepted, and you have a CA-17 form to take you off of work. If your claim's not accepted, you need FMLA.
Yeah.
You have no benefits until your claim's accepted, and that's the problem. So few people can get an accepted claim, and so they end up in, jeopardy, financial jeopardy, employment jeopardy, and what we're trying to do is help you avoid any kind of jeopardy, right? So you can just get better and back to work.
Kelly says, what do you do if the doctor recommends follow-up surgery due to scar tissue formation, rotator cuff?
Rotator cuff. So what, is there more?
Yeah.
Okay.
However, OWCP's second opinion doctor says they feel surgery is not necessary, that because no range of motion was included in the second opinion doctor was a spine doctor. My caseworker said she would resubmit info and relook at it. I've been waiting since October for this surgery so I can return to work. What should my next step be to get surgery?
Okay, so go back to your doctor and have your doctor write a better letter of medical necessity that more accurately, more specifically, with much greater detail, explains why you need that new surgery. And then that is used for pre-authorization. Your doctor's got to pre-authorize the surgery, and that would be their letter of pre-authorization. It's a letter of medical necessity for surgery.
Monica, Mimi says, I went for a second opinion last month. I haven't heard from anyone now. What's next?
You went to a second opinion, haven't heard from anyone. What's next? Follow your doctor's orders. Whoever your treating physician is, follow what they tell you to do. That's what's next. Always follow the doctor.
Monica said, I did get the CA-16. This is the girl who was the surgery. I did get the CA-16, but the orthopedic workers' comp lady did not know what she needed to do with the form.
Dump that doctor and find another one, or
oh my God,
tell the workers' comp orthopedic lady to learn how to use Google and figure it out.
Yeah, they have to accept that.
They take that and they use it for documentation with their billing.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry you're having that problem. I don't know how to fix that. You have to find someone else who knows what to do with it. But, hey, tomorrow, send us a message, a Facebook message, with your phone number, and we'll have Jennifer call you.
Yeah.
So, Jennifer, you got 2 calls now, and Jennifer will be able to help you with this.
Oh, Brenda, I used my own health insurance till my claim was approved per the supervisor's instructions?
Oh, okay, so that's terrible, but I'm glad this came up because this is the second time today I heard this.
Oh, that's right. We said we were going to talk about that.
Unbelievable. Listen, I hope this wasn't you, Brenda, but it was already you anyways. So I had somebody message me today that said they know someone whose supervisor said, just don't tell them it was work-related and use your health insurance. And later on, turn in your receipts and you can get reimbursed. Let me tell you something. That is bullshit, okay? If you tell your doctor it's not work-related, that's going to go in the notes, and that claim will never be approved. You will never get reimbursed. You will never have benefits. And in fact, if you ever go back and say, yeah, but it actually was work-related, they're going to say, you lied. What else did you lie about? Like I told this person today, follow the rules. I put it in all upper caps, follow the rules. If it's work-related, it's work-related, okay? You're giving away your rights. You're giving away your benefits if you willfully lie to a doctor and say it's not work-related. Because you can get your surgery, but now when you need time off, you use FMLA because you don't get the protection of a CA-17. If you use money out of your pocket, you're never getting it back because you don't get an OWCP 915. And if you have to drive back and forth, you're never getting your mileage reimbursed. And any time you take off, you can't use a CA-7 and get paid for LWOP. It's gone. And schedule awards, not going to happen because you didn't get a claim accepted because you lied to your doctor. Now, you don't want to lie to your doctor. Your supervisor wants you to lie to your doctor. And your supervisor's dead wrong, so don't do it.
Yeah,
Never,
don't.
ever, ever do that. Fill out your CA1, fill out your CA2, whichever it is. Report the injury appropriately, follow the rules the way you're supposed to, and go to the doctor and tell the true story. That's the only way to protect yourself.
Derek says, if you've been hurt at work and need help in Massachusetts or New England, call me directly. I'm happy here. I'm happy to help. His number is 781-414-1715. You can call Derek at 2:30 a.m.
And for him posting that, you can call at 3 a.m. And in fact, wake him up at 5 a.m. when you get up.
Just wake him up.
Derek works with us in the Massachusetts area in New England. And so that's legit. Okay, we love Derek. He's with us. He's an expert at this, just like we are. Don't worry about it. But for sure, call him at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Kim says Derek is awesome. Call him. I'd call him at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what? I probably just might call him at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm setting an alarm right now.
Yeah, we're doing that right now.
Not 2. Like 5. When I get up and make Narayan breakfast, I'm going to call Derek, make sure he's making breakfast too.
Valerie said, a lot of rural carriers have Facebook, not Twitter, so please say it on here as well.
Yeah, well, I am saying it here. But in order for you to... Here's the thing. I put it on Twitter because number one, get Twitter. It's easier than Facebook, actually. Don't follow anybody else but me because it becomes like this black hole. And Twitter's hateful. Like, people are hateful. I'm not. I just post laws and rules, okay? Almost no opinions even.
Yeah, and our app is coming out by the end of the month, so Facebook and Twitter will be on there, so it's not like you have to get it.
No. Don't ever tell him. Yes, you must get Twitter.
No. It's going to be on the app. So all you have to do is just click Twitter. You're going to find us on there, and you just enter it. It's like they need your name and your email address, and then you can just automatically find us. Because the way we have it is Chris posts the actual... Code of Federal Regulations. It's a long number, so that's why for us to he has to say it, he's got to look at the code and remember the code. So on the Twitter page has the code. So if the supervisor says that's not a legitimate thing, you can say, no, look up this code on Google, because once you say CFR 9322, whatever the code is, it'll pop up and there's the law, the rules, and the regulations.
So definitely get Twitter. All the rest of that stuff is true, though. I have no idea, neither does she, when the app will actually come out, because we're at the mercy of Apple and the Google Play Store now, and it comes out whenever they say it comes out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, get Twitter, because you need this now. And you get it because the rules are there. Because you want to turn your phone around, show people. You want to turn your phone around and say, but supervisor, what does this say here? You say I can't have one. This says you should have given me one 4 hours ago, 4 days ago. That's why you get Twitter. It's not posted the same way on Facebook. It's harder to find on Facebook. On Twitter, it's so easy to find. I've made it totally user-friendly so that you can have it and show the actual rules. You need that. It protects you. So get Twitter. I understand. Look, I didn't have Twitter before too, but this thing I hear all the time, well, we don't have Twitter. Well, you can fix that. Do you have a phone? Okay, check. Do you do social media already? Yes, check. Great, get Twitter.
He does this at the convention.
I do it every time. There's no excuse.
He gives them 10 minutes to download it and get it.
There's no excuse. And the reason, it doesn't help me. Look, I'm not on there to have a party conversation with you. I don't waste your time. I don't make money for you being on Twitter. It's not a sales or marketing tool for me. It has absolutely no value to me. Whether there are 700 or 70,000 or 700,000 people doesn't change anything for me. It changes something for you. You got to get on. You need this access. You need the rules that I'm posting on here.
Yeah. Don Woodruff said, I purchased short-term disability years ago, and in 2011, when I needed to use it, the medical unit didn't comply with 4 to 5 questions. Once again, they pay 50% of work comp claim, and I sent it to HR, and they sent to med unit in December. I haven't heard anything. We'll send second request if there's no response. Do I file an EEO against the post office or just contact my state rep or senator?
So when you contact your state representative or your federal representative, that tends to work. So I'd never discourage you from doing that. Put them to work. Filing EEO claims, you can always call and ask if you have a claim. They have counselors there to talk to you, so for sure do that. You're talking about short-term disability, which isn't OWCP. It's a thing that kicks in because you were wise and you bought it, right? But the money you paid out of your pocket when your claim's accepted, you can get that back anyways with an OWCP 915. But I'm with you. I want 100% of what I am, what's due to me. What is my right? In your case, what I paid for.
Regina says, will you list everything that you need to send in with the CA7, please?
Sure. All right. So any of you that want to write this down, you can always rewind from here when you're rewatching this, because I know all of you are going to want to rewatch this hour-long video later. But here it goes. So with your CA7, you need to have your doctor give you a printout of your appointments, like your schedule. They have this stuff, okay? They can print it out. It's in their EMRs, their scheduling software. Print it out. Have the doctor sign it. If you're at physical therapy, have the therapist sign it, okay? If you're seeing a chiropractor, have the chiropractor sign it. If you're getting an MRI, have the MRI tech sign it, okay? Whatever appointment you're at, have it printed out, signed. That's number one. And if you have multiple appointments, print out multiple appointments, no problem. Number two, if you're off of work and you have a CA17 that took you off of work, include a copy of the CA17 signed by the medical doctor. Even though the claims examiner probably has it already, send it again, okay? If that CA17 covers multiple CA7 submissions, attach it multiple times. Always attach the 17 if it exists. The doctor needs to then fill out a form CA20 and sign it. Only the medical doctor can sign this form. They can fill it out as many times as you need them to. If they complain, tell them they get paid to fill it out and to suck it up. Okay? They get paid to fill these out, so you don't care. Don't feel bad about asking. So, appointments, CA17 and CA20. Now, what's not in the rules, but keeps being in CA or claims examiner denial letters, is your doctor also needs to write a narrative report, which can just be a paragraph long, explaining why you're off of work. See, you have a CA20 that explains your prognosis, your condition. You have a CA17 that says you're off of work and here's what your restrictions are. You have a printout of your appointments saying what you've been doing, but the narrative report explains why all this is happening. So you need those four things, and if you fill those out or send those in and continue to get a denial, I'd really, really appreciate it if you'd send me that denial letter. This goes to all of you.
Yeah.
Send me the denial letter because I need to read it, because what I'm seeing is there are rogue claims examiners who write reasons for denial that aren't in the rules. And if they're going to do that, I want to start teaching this other stuff they're doing so I can help you all. So if anybody gets a denial after sending those four things in, please let me see the denial letter. I'd really appreciate it.
Cindy, my phone number is 877-787-OWCP. Also, if I send you to voicemail, it's because I'm on the call. You can call Jennifer. She just listed her number down below, and then Derek was the one above. And so you're welcome to call.
If any of them needs help, they're all going to have instant access to me. We're always going to get you the information. Most of the time, who you talk to is going to have the answer anyways, but don't worry about it, okay? Seriously, there's a lot of you and very few of us and just one of me. So, but we want to help all of you. So please, just be patient with us.
Derek always gets kudos.
Man,
whatever. Derek.
Whatever, Derek.
Yvonne, you're right. The agencies don't want you to know about the CA16s
Nope.
and a lot of the paperwork because they'll tell you they don't even know. And somebody said earlier that the supervisors are incompetent, and yeah, they are too.
So there's this thing called the Peter Principle. Some of you may have heard of it. I come from management. I have a master's in business. I have a management background on top of this. So the Peter Principle is when someone gets promoted to a point of incompetency. You all know this. You all know somebody who fits that description. Anyways, I wish I had a live audience. Somebody would have laughed there.
Jennifer got kudos. Why don't I get kudos? I answer a lot of questions too.
Anyways, moving on.
All right. Sammy May says, I have a pre-authorization for an impairment rating evaluation, and the office refused to schedule it until DOL prepays for it.
They don't prepay.
Or I pay out of pocket up front.
Go someplace else. Look, I'm sorry. You have pre-authorization. Let me explain this. If Department of Labor pre-authorizes a schedule award, impairment rating, that means they intend to pay. They're going to pay. Even if they deny your impairment rating. If they say, no, we're going to give you 0% of your schedule award, the doctor will still get paid. They don't understand what's going on. Find someone else. Or appeal to their better judgment. I don't know. Or have them watch this part of the video. The doctor will get paid. Department of Labor does not prepay services that have not happened yet. Nobody does. And you don't need to pay out of your pocket because DOL already said they would pay. That's outrageous. Outrageous. I'm sorry, I've been working in medical offices since I was 20 years old. That's ridiculous. Moving on. And I'm about to be 45. Old, I'm halfway done.
All right. Lisa says, my postmaster told me if I reported work comp, I'd have a target on my back.
Oh, that's awesome. Can you get that in writing?
Yeah, get that in writing.
Man, get that in writing.
Even a text message.
Is there a witness? Did anybody else hear that? Because you can contact OSHA and say, guess what my postmaster said?
Yeah.
We've seen postmasters get fired for stuff like that. 1-800-321-OSHA. OSHA.
Derek,
You can ask if that's a problem.
Derek, people want your number, so please post your number again. Lupita says, I have 2 disc bulges in the neck, and I have seen 3 different doctors for opinions. They all told me the same thing. I need surgery. And it's been 2 years since the injury, and I haven't heard anything from the case adjuster or the OWCP. And they misplaced all the doctor's documentation. Myself went to every doctor to get a copy and fax it to them in October 2019 and still haven't heard anything. What should I do?
Well, call your claims examiner every single day and find out what the status is. But also, find a doctor who can write a narrative explaining that these disc bulges are work-related and why they're work-related and why you need surgery as a result. It's not enough to say you're a federal employee. It's not enough to say you're a federal employee and you have disc bulges. And it's not enough to say you're a federal employee, you have disc bulges that are proven by an MRI. A doctor's got to be able to intelligently and with great detail say you're a federal employee who has disc bulges as evidenced by an MRI, and here's why that happened. Okay, this is how the job caused it. So you got to have a doctor who can write that report. If one of your doctors can't get that done, you have to find one that can.
Yeah.
And then make them e-comp it, because the claims examiner has got to review the doctor's reports. They have to.
One of you, and I'm sorry, I went right past the message, but I remembered it. Somebody asked if I knew of an orthopedic surgeon in Wisconsin. I don't. You're going to have to go on the ACS website, or you can reach out to Dr. Jonathan Say, who's in Racine, Wisconsin. He's a doctor that Chris trained. You can reach out to him and ask him who's a good DOL orthopedic surgeon, because I'm sure he uses.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got relationships up there.
Audrey McCabe says, I got over a year ago and my claims have been denied 3 times. Is there something I should be doing? They have all the information. They keep saying the doctor isn't wording it correctly.
Well, the doctor's not. Sorry.
But I brought in specific paperwork from the union. Yeah, your doctor has to write it correctly.
So sometimes your union will write a sample narrative and say to the doctor, if you agree with this, sign it. The doctor's not writing a detailed enough narrative. It's like I just said, it's not enough to say you're a federal employee and that you have this condition and there's an MRI that shows it. The doctor's got to be able to explain the link between your job and that condition shown on the MRI. He's got to prove that it happened at work. And he's also got to, sometimes, or she has to prove that it didn't happen someplace else. They got to write a better narrative. And this is the problem. This is why we're franchising out. We're teaching doctors at a mass scale in hopefully all 50 states in the next couple of years, so you don't have this problem anymore. But right now you're going to have it, and you're going to have to take charge of it and make your doctor do a better job.
The Twitter name is @Fed Injury Centers.
No. Center. No S on the end.
@Fed, FEDINJURYCENTER.
Yeah,
That's
Fed Injury
the
Center.
Twitter. Tabitha, your doctor has to follow the AMA guidelines on the 6th edition for the impairment rating. What do they do if the doctor does not follow the guidelines?
Get a new doctor. If your doctor tries to use the 5th edition, it's a denial. 4th, the 4th is like 30 years old. But, if they don't use the 6th edition, the Department of Labor won't accept it. Yeah. Bottom line, that's the rules. They'll only accept 6th edition. So if your doctor refuses, get a new doctor. And
all the doctors we have trained and we work with, they do use the 6th edition. Mm-hmm. So yes, all of the doctors that we have trained do use that.
Right.
Melissa Marie says, I've been off of work for 19 months due to a work-related injury. My position has 2 raises, yet my comp has not increased. I'm waiting for surgery approval, so I have no idea if or when I'll go back to work. Will my comp ever increase?
It's my understanding that your comp is going to be frozen at the rate that it was when you were off work. If you're not working, it is my understanding they don't have to raise it. I hate that for you. So, but talk to your union. For sure, your local union has more information about what you should be getting paid than I do. If you want to know how to get a claim accepted, I'm your guy. but talk to them about pay. But I'm pretty sure that's right. They don't have to raise your pay if you haven't been working. I think that's probably just their way of getting you back to work. But you probably want to go back anyways, but that's the deal.
Kelly, we're going to be at the DoubleTree Hotel in Naperville, Illinois on Saturday. We start at 10 a.m. Chris starts teaching.
Get your coffee.
And then afterwards, we're having lunch with the roll carriers there, and then we'll be sitting out in a booth for a couple hours answering one-on-one questions and giving out brochures and stuff like that. So that's where we'll be on Saturday, 10 a.m., DoubleTree Hotel in Naperville.
Yeah. So we'll be wrapping up in about 5 minutes, so keep your questions coming. But
I have a partial approval too, but half was denied and they won't pay any of it. Is this correct?
I'd have to see the denial. There's no way for me to know. Based on what you just said, I would need to see your denial letter, which I'm happy to read. But it's hard for me to know without reading specifically what they said.
Do you need an updated CA-17 every time you file a CA-7?
No. You need an updated CA-17 every time the doctor says that there's some reason to update the CA-17. That's it. If nothing has changed, there's no real reason to do a new CA-17. Unless, like, management requests a new one, which some managers request one, like, every time you see the doctor, which is nowhere in the rules. The truth is, you need to update a CA-17 anytime the doctor says it's medically necessary. So, as always, follow what your doctor says, and when you can do more to get back to work, tell your doctor you can do more to get back to work. One thing I always say is that you can fill out a CA-7 to get paid, and there's hoops to jump through. You can have COP to get paid, and as long as your claim gets accepted, you won't have to pay it back. But the surest way to get paid is to clock in. And so work with your doctor to find ways to get you back to work. And sometimes that means you can actually do more than the last time your doctor filled out the CA-17. Now you can do more. Be sure you communicate that with your doctor so they can update it at that time. But a CA-17 is only updated when it's medically indicated to do so.
Debbie, where are you going to be in Chicago? So again, we're going to be at the DoubleTree Hotel in Naperville, Illinois on Saturday. Chris starts at 10 a.m. So that's where we're going to be Saturday. We fly out Sunday.
I'm going to blow your minds with teaching. I'm going to answer tons of questions, and we're going to hang around for one-on-one stuff as well.
Paul Lambert, I was injured in a motor vehicle accident. My route went through an adjuster after the fact, and that is what my pay is determined on.
That sounds right. That's good feedback. Yeah, great feedback.
Yvonne, no, we don't have any affiliation with the National Reassessment Program and the civil lawsuit.
No, but I was just talking to one of the state presidents today about that, and she was giving me some input on it, but absolutely not. I wouldn't touch that. I have nothing to do with that.
Sherry, the only website I know that you could find a doctor besides ours that are listed at federalinjurycenters.com is the ACS website.
Good luck to you, but I'm working on this.
And I know most of the USPS folks defer back to the ACS website. And here's an advice is when you do find a doctor on there, whether it's 1 or 17, call the doctor's office and make sure you guys speak to the billing manager, because we don't mean to say anything bad about the girls up front, but the billing manager knows if they take federal work comp, because they take state work comp, and the girls are like, yeah, we take it, and then they don't. So be careful with that.
So we may not get to more questions. I want to actually talk about this. So in the next few days, there's going to be a website coming online called OWCPdoc.com, OWCPdoc.com. My web developers are putting the finishing touches on it, adding it to the server at GoDaddy. Anyways, it should be up pretty soon. And I've got a team of people who are going to be calling the ACS doctors to find out who actually wants to help you in every state. This is a huge job, okay? And I've been kind of talking about it, hinting about it. But it's finally going to start happening next week. They'll be making those phone calls. And so right now you have ACS. If you Google OWCP ACS, you'll see the first thing on Google is the Web Bill Processing Portal, the last place you would ever think to look to search for a doctor. But that's where you go. And then when you get there, you have to know some medical stuff to get to the screen where you can actually search. And then once you search, you got to call all these doctors that want to say no to you. They don't want to help you. So I'm going to put somebody, and I've got a team of people who are going to call and find out which of these doctors actually want to help you, okay? And which of these doctors actually want to get trained to actually do a good job when they help you, okay? So once this goes on online and it's growing in numbers, you'll start seeing that in your areas there will be doctors closer to your location. And when you search on this new site, which is not a federal injury center site, this is just a service I'm doing for you because it's a problem for you. You're going to have plenty of doctors on there that are not federal injury centers doctors, and some of them weren't even trained by me, and that's how it goes. But I'm tired of you not being able to find a doctor who will just say yes to you. So hang in there. ACS is going to be a site that you'll no longer go to. 12 months from now, we'll be laughing about this terrible product that they have for you. Because my site, OWCPdoc.com, will only have doctors that want to say yes. It's going to be really great for you. And so just hang in there. I just wanted to say that. It's one of the big things we're trying to do for you this year.
Yeah, so with that said, from what I'm looking at, we're going to go ahead and continue next week with Q&A because I know you guys have a lot of questions.
Yeah, this is great. Keep it coming.
This is great. If anybody wants any information, I know, Sue, you asked about our doctor in Alabama. Please contact Jennifer. She schedules all the patients for Dr. Harper in Birmingham. And our Twitter, again, somebody asked for our Twitter, is at Fed Injury Center.
Right.
Go to Twitter, find us. You'll find all the laws, and these laws are taken from USPS's website, so we can help.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are taken right from the Code of Federal Regulations
Yes.
or the U.S. Code, or wherever I find them.
Yeah. And so again, we are going to be in Illinois on Saturday at the Spring Booster.
That's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's going to be Spring Booster.
The Spring Booster in January.
Yeah, I know.
Is it not the Fall Booster?
No.
It's Spring
the
Booster
winter
in January.
booster.
The Winter Booster. It's like spring. That's like a bad joke.
So we will be there. We can't wait to meet the new set of roll carriers in Illinois.
Yeah.
So we will be at the Doubletree Hotel. Chris speaks at 10 a.m. and we'll be there all day Saturday. So come ask your questions.
Bring your pen and paper and your cups of coffee.
Yeah, we'll be there for meet and greet. And if you take pictures, don't forget to hashtag Federal Injury Centers with us. And we look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. We are traveling from Friday to Sunday. If you don't get any phone calls from me, Jennifer and Derek will handle it Friday, Saturday.
They don't let you make
Sunday.
phone calls on the plane.
So with that said, Derek's number is listed below. Jennifer's number is listed below. Mine is 877-787-OWCP.
And that's the easiest way to get to me.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, you can email Gini, Gini, at Federal Injury Centers or Chris at federalinjurycenters.com and send your denials so we can help you with that.
Yep.
And with that said, we will continue Q&A next Wednesday at 8 p.m. So we look forward to seeing our new wheel carriers on Saturday, and we will see you guys again 8 p.m. next week. Bye!
Later on.